Congratulations, that's an upgrade.
I don't know if I take it. I don't accept.
Okay.
So my understanding, there's negotiations happening right now on the paid leave ordinance that was held in committee on Monday. You introduced a sort of compromise measure yesterday into the negotiations. My understanding is the business community is coming back with a counteroffer today. I mean, how confident are you that this is going to get to a compromise? And if it doesn't, are you worried about it essentially, lowering the benefits for workers without the accompanying buy-in from the business community to support it?
Yeah, thank you for that question. It's also a good one. You're all on the roll today. Look, there's no secret of who I am and my values. Standing up for working people is what I do. It's what I've done throughout my entire tenure over the course of these short 5 months. What I also said is that I'm going to bring people together. I made a commitment to doing that, and I've held on to every single promise that I've made. And so the business community is at the table because I want to hear from them. As far as being able to provide the type of collaborative support that the people of Chicago elected me to do.
How the fuck you ignoring every motherfucking body? You ain't going to none of these meetings. Your aldermen is telling the people that they don't want certain shit. But yeah, you coming up here talking about what the city of Chicago want, but you ain't doing nothing for the city of Chicago. Not at all. You ain't doing nothing for them people up there, man. And to pay some taxes for you to give it away, you giving people $9,000 fucking dollars to come from another country. What other country in the whole fucking world does that off the people that you don't even help? You don't even help nobody, man. You got people out here struggling, losing their houses, losing their apartments, homeless, everything, man. It's just like, y'all motherfuckers giving these motherfuckers everything. Y'all giving these migrants everything, like, and they still complaining. They still coming up here and bringing crime into the communities that y'all setting these motherfuckers in, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I probably won't get no views anyway. So shit, it is what it is.
Absolutely, I'm confident that, as I've demonstrated thus far, I can bring people together and we can come to a compromise. Here's the other thing too. Running on my values and governing on my values is what I said I would do and I'm doing. And that I don't negotiate my values, but I said we can negotiate the details around our values. So that's what we're doing. That's what the people of Chicago want. We call that democracy. And I'm happy to lead the greatest city in the world through a collaborative approach. Thank you for that question.
Hi, Mayor Super.
Values. The values of the city for this. How are you talking all this word salad up here like you actually been at these meetings, bro? And then like don't nobody you just making all you just acting like a authoritarian, like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Boy, your time is short up there, nigga. I'm telling you. Shit, man. Man, whoa. Your time up there is short. You Sasquatch curry head ass nigga.
From Channel 2, nice to see you again.
It is.
Speaking of space for asylum seekers, there's been some confusion surrounding the former Museum for Broadcast Communications. Is that a space that's being looked into for migrant shelter, migrant housing?
There has been some confusion. Everything that I've said, I've meant. And so if you haven't heard it from me, then you don't have to be confused about it.
But is that a space considered? Or are you planning on putting people there?
What I've said repeatedly is that we're looking for locations throughout the entire city. And when we put forth an idea or particular location in a space, nothing we do is done surreptitiously. So we do it out loud.
Mayor, good afternoon. Can you speak to an AP report this afternoon that there are 5 mayors, including yourself, Houston, Denver, New York, Los Angeles, asking President Biden for a little bit more of an acute reaction to the number of migrants coming to these 5 cities. Can you speak about that?
I can. Can I offer a friendly amendment? It's not a little, it's a lot. From day one, I've said that the federal government has to do more. And we're bringing people together, not just in the city of Chicago, but around the country. Look, we can be unwavering in our approach to how we.
You bringing people together around the country, all right, to vote you motherfuckers the fuck out of office. All you pissy, poor Democrats. You Democrats, you Democrats. Y'all suck. Y'all flooding the borders with God knows, I don't know who, and putting these motherfuckers around our American children. Everything else. You don't know what these motherfuckers have did. They coming across the border. Venezuela representing hard, but they running from their country. Yeah, I see how it is. They just want to come up here and get our money. Yeah, I see how the shit is. Yeah, you motherfuckers is on some bullshit. You trying to replace the workers you got up here, because the workers you got up here, y'all probably some motherfuckers out of home and ain't paying nobody shit for these motherfucking jobs. It's like, yeah, you throw somebody $15 an hour now, but shit, it still ain't enough to pay shit. You throw somebody $20 an hour. That ain't no motherfucking money no more. Maybe back in 94 is some motherfucking money, $15 an hour, you winning. Now today, that shit ain't no motherfucking money. That shit is chump change. Check gone. As soon as you get that motherfucker. Check gone. You want to bring these motherfuckers up here and slay these motherfuckers to death, but leave us unemployed. You got all these homeless motherfuckers out here. Y'all could be giving stipends to and shit like that. Y'all don't do that. A nigga gotta pay child support and get taxed for that, and then get taxed for that again. Don't get a fucking income tax because y'all want to take that. Y'all just dig into our checks. Dig into our money, tax, a tax here, a tax there. On that child support, you paying double the tax. You paying, not only you getting taxed on that money, boy, you get taxed twice on that money. You get taxed like motherfucking on your check before you get paid, and then like the income tax. All your income tax gone. Fuck. They don't even go to the kids, man. They gotta pay child support. A motherfucking woman gotta run up to the state building and put somebody on child support to get some extra money instead of the government helping the whole family. But the man can't be there though. They rather just put the man on child support so he can be in debt in the government. But y'all giving these motherfuckers that ain't paid a liquor tax. They families ain't fought these wars to make this great country and shit. Y'all giving these motherfucking freeloaders everything. Scooters, $9,000 checks, clothing vouchers, food stamps. Motherfucker gotta be an able-bodied citizen to get a food stamp for the motherfuckers that put into it. It seems like the ones that don't pay any taxes, like y'all politicians, y'all got all the power and all the money in the world to just piss off. Y'all got all these wars going on. Y'all can't help nobody in none of these communities. Can't keep none of the schools open. But y'all got billions of dollars for war. Other countries' wars. Not even, motherfuckers ain't even coming over here fucking with us. But y'all ain't everybody's business around the motherfucking globe. Y'all need hundreds of billions of dollars for that. You can't help out black people. Can't give reparations. Don't talk about reparations. No, don't talk about reparations. That's just too big of a one fucking word. That's just too much to give black people what they fucking owe. Cause y'all steady taking, and not giving. Every time one of you motherfucking pussies get in office, y'all motherfuckers want to use the black vote and this and that and the other, and y'all don't do a goddamn thing for us. And you want to sit up here and talk about motherfucker. Y'all, you unify with Chicago about some shit that you ain't even talk to the people. The people can't even fucking contact your bitch ass. Yeah.
Provide dignity for those who are seeking asylum. We can be unified in that approach, but it has been articulated. There are almost 30,000 Ukrainians here, and no one even noticed. In fact, there was no debate about it. So the question is, what's the difference here? Now, that's a question that I'm posing to you all, right? Consider it a classroom assignment. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in D.C. in solidarity with these mayors, as we've had multiple conversations over the course of my short 5 months in office. And we're going to push the federal government just like we're going to push the state of Illinois to do its part. Look, Chicago is leaning in. We have borne the brunt of the responsibility here.
Bro, doing your part is getting these motherfuckers back over there to where the fuck they come from and tell them to make that motherfucking shit great. Tell them to ride and take over the motherfucking government and all that shit. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all Democrats, boy, y'all gonna be out of office for a pretty long time. Y'all keep playing. Y'all want to drive America into a hole, bro. That's exactly what you doing. How the fuck you gonna bring an influx of different motherfuckers from different nations? Know where the fuck they come from? They got a clean ass motherfucking record, but the American citizens, y'all want to tax us to death. Y'all want to put felonies on motherfuckers and everything else. You sound crazy in a motherfucker. You supposed to be a black man, bro. Sad. Boy, I swear to God.
That's not an equitable distribution of how government should cooperate. And so we're providing a framework on how we can do that. Just like the full force of government was in full effect to support Ukrainians, just like the full force of government is on display here in Chicago, we are a model example for the rest of the world. And we'll take that message to DC.
Hey, Mayor. This morning, a coalition of Westtown neighborhood groups held a press conference regarding the surge of robberies in their neighborhood. They want to meet with you. They want you and the superintendent of police to come down and meet with them and outline your plan to combat robberies. Will you meet with them this month? And what would you say to them about the ongoing plan?
Look,
They come up here robbing shit, prostituting. There's a whole bunch of able-bodied men coming up here too, matter of fact. Military age motherfuckers. Gotta think about that. Y'all wanna flood all these different motherfuckers up in here. Don't know where the fuck they coming from for real. They come up in this bitch with a fake ID, fake name and everything. It's just, y'all ain't got no fingerprints of none of these niggas or none of that shit. No birth certificates, no none of that shit. How the fuck is that democracy, cuz? What y'all doing is running this country into the fucking ground. You overtaxing every motherfucking body. You underpaying every motherfucking body. You want some more motherfuckers to come up here and then what? Y'all gonna take care of them. But the people that y'all using for all these taxes y'all giving away, y'all just got all this money. Y'all, when you need money for a war, you can come up with that $200 billion for that shit. You come up with $500 billion for a fucking war. But when it comes to motherfucking making programs for homeless people and all that shit all across the country, you ain't got no money for that. You ain't got money for black people's and reparations. You ain't got no money for that. Y'all never have money for stuff that we need here, but y'all have money to go over there and pooper, scoop, and snoop in motherfuckers' businesses. And then you want to talk about what the people want, but you ain't even talking to the people. You talking to the white people, the press, and Joe Biden. You talking for them. You're not talking about you. You're not talking for the people of that city that you a mayor of. You ain't talking for Chicago. You ain't talking for black people. You talking for them. You talking for Biden, Harris, and all them guppies. You ain't black.
You all, if anyone knows my schedule better than my wife, it's you all. I'm meeting with people
Let's go.
constantly. And look, as I've said before, we've inherited, a dynamic that unfortunately has been ignored for a very long time in this city. And so now you're seeing the manifestation of the type of terror that the people of Chicago have had to endure. Now, as much as we appreciate and celebrate the work that we've done to lower yet another month where we have reduced the amount of homicides and shootings, that's 2 months in a row. We consider to see a decline in shootings as well as homicides. We're going to continue to make sure the full force of government is available every single day for the people of Chicago. And as far as robberies and carjackings, look, there's work to be done there. And we're going to continue to work with the police department and the full force of government to address this dynamic, just like we're addressing every single other dynamic in the city of Chicago. So, meeting with people.
Shit, they get robbed and carjacked too?
It's not a heavy lift. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor. So
you motherfuckers
you said
got
you'll be in
straps
DC
and
tomorrow. Does
everything.
this mean you won't be at the special city council meeting scheduled?
These motherfuckers got stripes and everything, man. What the fuck? How the fuck they able to rob and carjack people and they just came from across the border? They coming with straps? Or are they getting them here? See, like, it right now, that's an invasion, bro. And them not migrants, immigrants. They're illegal immigrants. They're illegal immigrants. They're coming up here starting shit. How are they getting guns? Are they bringing them from across the border? How are they coming up here in these cities? Y'all dropping them off and they just robbing your citizens. We gotta come together on this. Ooh, boy, I
For
swear to
10:30, and will you be encouraging all the people to show up to that special city council meeting?
Well, I certainly don't have to tell people to show up for work, right? I mean, that's... Yeah,
Right, but I mean...
I appreciate that question, but people know they have a job to do, right? As far as where I'm going to be in D.C. tomorrow.
Okay, and I mean, what do you think about Alderman Beal saying he's going to reintroduce a proposal to ask about asking the voters if Chicago should remain a sanctuary city?
You want to know what I think about?
I mean, I know what you think about it, but...
Oh, no. I just want to make sure I understand. So you want me to tell you what I think about an alder person introducing something? Reintroducing something. Alders introduce stuff all the time. The question is, what's the goal?
Well, what the fuck
That's
is
the
wrong
question.
with you?
Like, people do stuff all the time.
Look,
We want to understand what the objective is. Because if the objective is to deal with the crises,
everybody can look
which of
this
course
up
are those who are seeking asylum,
and see how
then
he's
it's not
looking.
a question of whether or not should we
See
be
these
sanctuary.
facial expressions he's making.
The question then, if
he
concerned
know
about
he's
asylum
talking
seekers, the
words
question should
out.
be, how do we influence international policy, and how do we make sure that sanctions that have been propagated against an entire nation for decades, that how do we address that? Now, look, our city has been through this before. I've shared my personal story, my personal journey.
Stutter.
My father has the benefit of being a part of the second migration.
Stutter.
If you all remember, during the first and second migration, Black folks were met with a very visceral,
That sound like the
anti-Black
the ground
response.
under your feet.
But yet here we be.
Here we be. That sound like the ground under your feet. Sizzling, huh? Yeah, cause you walking on fire, burning glass, bro. That's what you walking on. You hear this word salad? I mean, this dude is really talking crazy. Man, who have you talked to? Cause you ain't been out there yourself talk to the people because you're a coward. You a coward ass dude, cuz. Flat out, you a coward, man. Ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no motherfucking way you ain't been at none of them council meetings or neighborhood meetings with the different neighborhoods that you dropping these people off and seeing how these people are upset. You don't see the news reports of people upset. We probably you gonna shove some shit down your taxpayers, the people that pay taxes in them neighborhoods in that motherfucking city of yours, down they motherfucking throat. They supposed to just take it up the ass, I guess. We supposed to just take shit that y'all little policies and everything else. We just supposed to take it up the ass. We supposed to just take it. Y'all can do anything you fucking want to, and we can't do the same shit. That's crazy as hell, man. You got y'all fuckers, y'all politicians, you especially you black people, y'all black politicians, y'all got y'all fucking nerves. And people like you make me fucking sick. That's just spit in your motherfucking face.
I'm confident that as a city, we will get to the other side of this conversation. And this is why I have not stopped governing. Treatment, not trauma. Bring Chicago home. Making sure that we are creating a pathway to open up mental health clinics. Investing $250 million into homelessness. And doing all of that without raising property taxes.
All y'all gotta do is give motherfuckers more drugs, more prescriptions,
a year
more
ago,
drugs.
when I announced October 27th,
you ain't trying to address no
that the Civic Committee would say, well,
just doping them
who would have thought that Brandon Johnson would have been mayor?
So y'all get to check out that.
But yet here I be. So those who are suffering through a lack of confidence in the will of the people, there's too much of a track record. Because the story of Byron Sigcho Lopez, Guatemala, Ecuador, Delia Ramirez, Guatemala,
talk about the people who
Will
just been
Hall,
robbed in y'all
ancestry, South, my ancestry to South. And now you see this collective rainbow coalition on indigenous land leading the greatest freaking city in the world. So people can raise questions, but the question really is, what's our goal? What is our goal? And my goal is to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. And we're doing just that.
Hi, Mayor.
Hey.
I got a couple of questions that are actually kind of clarifications on things you've already addressed, but I'm not quite clear on them. The first is going back to the sanctuary city referendum. We heard a lot of debate on it on the floor today, and Ray Lopez and others saying you're basically throwing fluff referendums out there for things you should already be doing, like flood mitigation on the west side. So why push out these other referendums just to shove out debate over the sanctuary city referendum?
You're coming to a conclusion that is not based on anything other than speculation.
I'm asking a question about what is transpiring in the city council and what seems like a maneuver by your administration. Can you address that?
Okay. I am addressing it. You are coming to a conclusion that is based on speculation. I never said I was shoving anything out. Did I get up and say I'm shoving something out? That's a conclusion that you're basing off of something that just doesn't exist.
Well, there's only three referendums that can go on there. We know that. And if you put three up yourself, that means there's not room for a fourth.
And you shoving shit down your citizens' throats. They voted you in, bro. But you ain't even interacting with none of them no more. You played this motherfucking game. You played the politic game so motherfucking cold. You a Obama 2.0. Nigga. You sucker. You sick. And you a dick sucking hoe, nigga.
So, I mean, call it what you will, semantics, however you want. But it seems clear that you are going to put these other referendums.
Aren't you glad that we don't have to base on anything on what seems to be? Aren't you glad? So look, when you govern, you don't govern on what seems to be. You just don't. Did you have another question?
I did. Alderman Riley said his information coming to him is that you have had members of your administration go through the Museum of Broadcast Industry or History building and are seriously considering moving ahead with that as a migrant shelter? He says with the inner Chicago being such a problematic area in his ward, he's very concerned about that. So first of all, yes or no, have you had part of your team go and look at that facility specifically, and are you seriously considering that or not?
So we have looked at a variety of locations all over the city of Chicago. Alderman Riley's speculation around this particular site, I don't know how he's coming to that conclusion. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor.
Hey.
A WBZ and Sun-Times investigation found that at least 9 CPD officers.
Because y'all aldermen is really talking to the people. They're the ones that's talking to the people trying to figure out what you doing. Because they don't know what you doing. They can't even tell these people nothing. Well, yeah, we got plans to do this. The mayor got plans doing that. The mayor ain't answering me at all, and this and that and the other. Nigga, you ain't even fucking talking to your people. So they say, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably all in on it. Like, my opinion. But them aldermen are the ones that's actually out there with the people, not you, bro. You ain't at none of them meetings, none of them neighborhood meetings. You ain't at none of them. The Asian people don't want it. The Latinos in Chicago don't want it. The black people definitely don't want it. Y'all ain't putting that shit in the white people areas. You sad, bro. People like you need to get out of office. Cause y'all reckon America. You Al Sharpton ass want to put on a suit and tie, looking important, but you ain't nothing but a thug your damn self, bitch.
Officers who are listed on Oath Keepers rosters are still in the police force. Do you still stand by your campaign pledge to fire all Oath Keepers and Proud Boys? And if so, how do you plan to do so?
So we're working with Superintendent Snelling, as well as an adequate process to not only assess the information that has been bestowed, but to make sure that we are
to make sure what you're doing is treasonous to this motherfucking country, all the way up to the highest motherfucking position in office. All y'all doing is treasonous to this country and poison to the American population. Everything, all the policies y'all done fucking brought up, all this LGBT shit, all that shit y'all doing is bringing us down as a whole. Is making us look like jokes out here in the world community. But you don't understand that. You're fluffy. You're a soft ass nigga. Okay, you got a white dick in your motherfucking mouth. I'll see where this is going.
being thoughtful about our presentation. And so I'm going to continue to be thoughtful and look, individuals who openly subscribe to an ideology that is hateful and harmful have no business serving, certainly not protecting.
And do you think CPD can be trusted to continue to investigate these officers, or do you support the Inspector General reopening the investigation?
Superintendent Snelling is a very fine individual. If I didn't trust him, I wouldn't have appointed him. In fact, a unanimous vote on the city council floor said we trust Superintendent Snelling. I'll take it one step further. Just had a chance to talk with the commander of the 10th district. And you all are aware of the mass shooting that took place in
Nigga, do you gargle when a motherfucker shoot nut down your throat, my nigga? You bitch.
in the 24th Ward. The community stepped up. And it helped lead to the identifying this individual. To me, that's an indication that there is trust being restored, because that's what I'm doing as a leader. We're working hard to bring people to the table so that we can actually build systems of care, but you can't build systems of care without trust. And so it's going to take all of us to be competent, compassionate, and collaborative, and that's the type of leadership that we have with our police superintendent.
Good afternoon, Mayor. What can you say to people in a number of communities who are saying there's a lack of transparency as far as where migrant shelters are going to go. Not so much that they're not told, but that they're not told until after decisions have been made, and that, to quote one of the alders today, that it's too late.
Yeah, well, there have been multiple committee meetings on my committee that Andre Vasquez has held. Multiple committee meetings. We have weekly briefings every week. We had a briefing. September 8th, September 9th. All of you reported on it. And so what I said to the alders during the briefing is what I've said to you all, that I'm assessing every single site. Look, we have a national crisis right now, an international crisis, where people are living on floors in police stations. We also have a national crisis where Black communities have been ignored across this.
A crisis that y'all are making worse for the Black community. A crisis that y'all are introducing to this country, because when Trump was in office, he's made that wall for a motherfucking reason. As a matter of fact, he finished the wall for a motherfucking reason, because this is a piece of wall up some motherfucking where already. He was finishing the motherfucking wall. Oh, we gonna stop work on the wall immediately. We gonna open the fucking border and let everybody come to America. We got all these resources and I ain't got nothing for the people. And you talking about Black people, and Black people being marginalized and everything else, and y'all trying to mix us in with brown people, so-called brown people, even though we the real brown people. Well, let's call us Black though. Y'all got this fucking nerve of using Black people every time it's convenient for you, but you don't do nothing for the Black people of this country to help Black people. Nothing at all. All you do is take, and you are the same as the rest of them, bro. You sad, you a sellout, and y'all know your days are short in office. They gonna get your ass up out of here.
Country. And so all of that I'm absorbing at one time. I'm glad that I was raised in a family of tough people.
Tough people. Where are all these niggas in the city of Chicago that's gang banging and running up on ops with these Mexicans coming up here robbing you niggas? Are they robbing you niggas? They going on old block actually robbing you niggas, cuz you niggas that damn soft? Cause y'all Chi-Town niggas, like a lot of you niggas I bumped into was all talk for real. All talk. And these Mexicans come up in here and flood y'all shit. Y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all ain't doing nothing about it. Interesting. Very interesting.
It's because we can handle it. The good thing about being in Chicago is that under an enormous amount of pressure, we don't flinch. We don't buckle under pressure. And I've asked every single alder, and there are 2 alders that are here. I said, find me a couple of locations. Both of them have worked. In fact, the largest potential site is in Sigcho Lopez's ward. 2,500 people at capacity. People are doing their homework. Now, I don't assign homework all the time. I'm not that type of instructor. But when I do assign it, I do expect folks to do something. And what I also said was, and remember, because you all reported on it, that we're going to set up base camps and we're going to assess sites all over the city. No one is caught off guard or by surprise.
Now they run up here replacing you niggas, setting up base camps while y'all too busy running down on a motherfucking op. Somebody that look just like your Black ass, probably your damn cousin you running down on. Fucking sad. And these niggas working to replace you. And these motherfuckers coming from the south of the border committing crimes in y'all neighborhoods. Y'all ain't even robbing these niggas. They got guns and everything. Bitches selling pussy. All kind of shit. You niggas ain't running them motherfuckers down. You ain't making them motherfuckers the ops. All right, that ain't your problem, huh? You just cool with just deleting each other, huh? You just run down each other, huh? Just another brother, you quick to walk him down. Messages coming over there, taking over it, and y'all kiss they motherfucking ass and be scared of them. Fucking weak ass niggas.
No one. And as we continue to assess, there are individuals, of course, that wished we had more time. But we live in Chicago. We got to get people out of police stations. People cannot sleep outside. They can't be on the floors at airports. So we're going to continue to deliver the message emphatically and transparently. In fact, I think this came up earlier about favored staffing. I told you all it was a bad contract. That's why I renegotiated 3 times. Remember the $51 million that we appropriated? I told you all that $47 million was going towards staffing. And I said, that's a jacked up deal. See, look, when you come from a large family, you don't have to hide, because all my business was out there all the time anyways. So I apply the same principle as mayor of the city of Chicago. We talk to people and we give people assignments, and people can either do the assignment or not. I expect them to do it. But what I can tell you emphatically, I'm gonna do mine. I'll always turn my homework in.
Bruh. You got your motherfucking nerve, bro. It's just hearing this just make me I ain't even in Chicago. I'm looking like this. Y'all trying to do this everywhere. Oh, just flood the border. Just come up here. We got all the resources. Y'all ain't got the jobs for the nigga that's already up there in Chicago. You bringing all these people up here for what? Y'all doing this. And I see right now, you don't talk to nobody. You run around there like on your power trip. You on a power trip, bro. I hope they vote your ass out early. You need to get the fuck on some motherfucking where. You and the rest of the people like you that's in office that hold these positions ain't doing nothing for your people, but you do everything for everybody else. That fucking sad ass look on your damn face. Boy, you ought to be ashamed.
Sophia Tureen with the Associated Press. Another question about that letter that was sent to President Biden today. So it was, you and 4 other mayors, and some of those cities have been sending migrants to Chicago, namely Denver. I know your predecessor was angry about that and sent a letter to the governor of Colorado. Have you had communications with those other mayors asking them to stop that practice? And what does that do to Chicago's burden?
Well, I've had conversations with a lot of mayors. In fact, 2 alders here were in Texas talking to mayors in Texas. And I want to thank both Alderman Hall and Sigcho Lopez for your leadership and stepping up to do that. And what they found is that there is frustration all over the country. But here's the thing, though. Here's why this situation, quite frankly, is so jacked up. For some of these bordering mayors, they're moving 500,000 people through their respective cities annually, thousands a week. But here's what's interesting. They have the full force of the federal government to help them do that. The federal government is spending money to send people to Chicago. I'm not going to pit mayors against one another. Now, look, we're coming together tomorrow because that's what I do. I bring people together, and we're going to be in D.C. together. Now, what I also want to note is that the country of Mexico, they're dealing with it as well. Because once they touch, these asylum seekers hit Mexico, they are protected by international law. And they start off at the southern tip of Mexico. By the time they get to the northern portion of Mexico, at the border of the United States of America, 2,500 people last almost 10,000. So So you have mayors across the country that are struggling with this international crisis. And we need the federal government to do more. And that's why we're going to be together on tomorrow. And Chicago, just know that as frustrating as this is right now, your brother's working hard every single day. International policy, local ordinances, and everything else in between. I've only missed a couple of soccer games this year so far, so my kids will be voting for me as Dad of the Year once again. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor. Can you give us an idea of what is actually next for 115th and Halstead after today's delay? Can or will a potential base camp move forward there without council authorization of the actual land sale?
So we're going to continue to work with alders because here's the thing. The land sale, just want to make sure I provide some context, is for the future development of Morgan Park. I still want that. I made a commitment to invest in Black Chicago, and I'm still committed to doing that. And so this is a great location for the type of development that this particular region of the city of Chicago deserves. I mean, it's been darn near naked for a generation now. So I understand the frustration that people have. I get that frustration. I come out of the organizing background. I know what it's like when schools are closed, mental health clinics are shut down. That's why I'm opening up mental health clinics. So we're going to continue to have conversations with alders around how we can make sure that this land sale sets us up for the type of development that needs to take place. Now, as far as the migrant base camps, and we're going to continue to assess this site like we're assessing other sites. Thank you.
And what's the latest on the 38th and California site?
Still assessing. So I think this was raised before. There are a lot of environmental dynamics in the city of Chicago that have gone unaddressed for a very long time. You know, sometimes my wife asks me, she's like, what is it like being mayor? I said, it's like an HGTV special. You ever watch different shows like Property Brothers? You watch Property Brothers, and you know how you acquire a particular property, and then it looks like this is great potential, and then you knock down a wall, and then you notice and you discover that there are dynamics that have been unaddressed. That's what Chicago is like right now. That we have this incredible edifice, but so many of our neighborhoods have been neglected that there are environmental concerns. And so I have to do my due diligence to make sure that the environmental space is palatable for such a section as this. Thank you for that question, though.
Good afternoon, Mayor. You said in September that you had a goal of moving all migrants out of police stations by winter. Now that winter is on our doorstep, do you think you might have underestimated how difficult that feat would be? And what do you think the biggest hurdle has been?
Yeah, that's a fair question. Thank you, Alice, for that.
Ever to be president.
It snowed, but winter is not here yet. And so my goal is still to make sure that we have base camps before winter. As far as the hurdle, look, the federal government and the state have to do more. The people of Chicago, we have been incredibly resilient and patient. And clearly that patience is running short. And so that's why, our two alders have gone to the border, and I'm going to be in D.C. And look, I'm grateful that President Biden has eased the sanctions. Remember when I brought that to you all too? So I'm glad that he's listening. And we need more. And so there are some dynamics in the city, as I said before, because we've been neglected for so long. The environmental concerns that we have, and our Deputy Mayor Beatrice Ponce de Leon can attest to this, that the brick and mortar that has been neglected for so long. Some of the closed schools we've assessed, right, Beatrice? Some of them will require $12 to $15 million just to get them restored. What we do with them, we could still have substantive conversations about that. But just like we said a decade ago that it was a bad idea to do it, now I inherited what we said would happen a decade ago. So there are a variety of those, but you know, we're moving through them though. I mean, you know, I'm not tired. I'm up for it. Still ride my bike 8 miles a day.
8 miles a day.
So, you know, those international policies that we have to address, the local dynamics of neglect, the fact that the negligence has caused the type of frustration and pain that our people are suffering through. Those are hurdles. And we just continue to adjust as we go along.
What is your new deadline of when to move all the migrants?
The deadline hasn't changed. Look, so here's the thing. I don't want to use a football analogy, but just bear with me though.
Don't that nigga sound like a fully automatic AK-47? That nigga sound like a fully automatic AK-47. He sound like a motherfucking M16 rifle with all the motherfucking lies he's spitting out his motherfucking mouth right now. You sound like he talking Spanish now. What the fuck?
So there's something called a hurry up offense. When you have to get to the line of scrimmage fast. Because it's a 2-minute drill before the half of the game is going to end. There's a difference between being in a hurry and being in a rush. If you're in a rush, you can knock stuff over, you can miss stuff. But we do have to hurry up because the clock is ticking. It is. So I'm moving as fast as I can while also adjusting to those hurdles, environmental, international policy, local dynamics, investments that we have made a commitment to providing for the people of Chicago. We're doing it gracefully. Don't we look so fine up here? We do. We're okay. Thank you.
Mayor, hi. I don't want to misquote you, but from the other questions today about the Museum of Broadcast, it does seem as if it is in the mix. Can we just say yes or no?
I don't know why it seems that way.
Because you didn't say no.
Did I say it was?
Well, therein lies, you know. What's the definition of is?
I know, right?
See how arrogant this motherfucker. You an arrogant piece of shit.
Thank God I'm not the president of the United States. I don't have to answer that question. I mean, I think we know the definition of is and is not is. Look, we have looked through a variety of property all over the city of Chicago, as well as
word salad. Pure word salad.
And we will continue to assess property and land that can help us address this international crisis that I inherited. The federal government and the state government has to do more. We're burdening.
He tossing that salad so hard, he gonna fucking man.
The people of Chicago in a way that is becoming quite heavy. And so I understand the frustration, and that's why I'm going to be in D.C. tomorrow to continue to push for more investment so that we can deal with this international crisis in a dignified way without ignoring the very people who have been waiting for critical investments for a generation now.
So in your hope of building this better, stronger, safer Chicago, why are you so unavailable to the press? It's been 3 weeks since we've been able to ask you questions.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good question. I appreciate it. Here's another way, though, that I think about it, and just bear with me. I make myself available to the people of Chicago. And I believe there are multiple ways to engage the public, one of which is through press conferences. And I understand that there's a need to have this type of space. And I'm in the neighborhoods every day. I'm talking to people every day, whether it's in person, virtually, by phone. And look, I have come to appreciate the role and the position of mayor because I get to talk to people every day. And I'm going to continue to do that. Now, as far as a cadence that could be satisfactory for this particular mode of engagement, you know, I understand, I do. Just like there are people who want to see me in the community more. You know, people always say, you know, Mayor Johnson, we know you're busy, but can you come over here? You know, Mayor Johnson, I know you're busy, but can you come over here? Or Mayor Johnson, I know you've already been here, but can you come back here? And so over these last 5 months, I really wish, though, quite frankly, that the people of Chicago can see the city of Chicago through the lens of a mayor. It's a fascinating place. Tremendous people, great neighborhoods. And so I want this space to know that as someone who comes out of the organizing movement, that simply relying upon press conferences alone doesn't meet the entire need of how the people of Chicago want to engage with the mayor of Chicago. And here's the thing, I love it. I really do. I do. As hard as it has been at times, I love it. It's the best job one could ever have outside of teaching middle school, which, by the way, there's no better job to prepare you to become mayor of Chicago than teaching middle school in Chicago. So I appreciate the question, and I appreciate the desire for the people of Chicago to want to see me as much as they possibly can, and that's why my schedule looks the way it looks. And I'm going to continue to do that. I want to touch point with people every single day because that's who I am as mayor. To be accessible, to be available. Think about it, you all. I go from teaching middle school to an organizer to becoming mayor of Chicago with no political lineage. It is one of the most improbable dynamics probably we've seen in a generation. And so I say that with a great deal of humility. But I do recognize that the people of Chicago deserve to see their mayor in the neighborhoods, and that's why I'm in the neighborhoods.
Hi, Mayor. I guess I'm having cleanup today. The Inspector General's report identified an officer who made threats to kill a former romantic partner and their family, but the police department declined to fire that officer despite the Inspector General's recommendation. Will you ask Superintendent Larry Snelling to take another look at that case? And should the department take a stronger approach to officers who are accused of domestic violence and threats against intimate partners?
I really appreciate that question. You know, let me just acknowledge, first of all, that, you know, maintaining and growing community trust with the police department in the neighborhood, we have to do that. And in instances like this, it disrupts that potential. And we have to take a look at all of these different, all of these threats, as well as the toll and the stress that our police officers are enduring every single day. Look, I'm not making excuses for bad behavior. And so we have to take a closer look at these threats, absolutely. Because we have to maintain and build and grow community trust. And in some communities, we just have to create trust because it doesn't even exist. You know, and, you know, I just want to note, this is why, you know, we need treatment and not trauma. We do for everybody because we're all impacted by it. And I'm going to continue to make sure that we push to ensure that the sanctity of life is protected and maintained. Are there other questions here? All right, well done today, you all. Sorry for being so late. Thanks for being so patient with me.
Boy, you suck and you're sad. You an idiot.